Have you ever spent an afternoon relaxing and hanging out with your best friends? Hours and hours where there's nothing you need to worry about, no place that you need to be, no task that you need to complete. People talk about free time, but I'm talking about time that is truly free. And the friends that you're with during this time, they're the friends who know you and love you, and you know that they love you. So you're just totally unfiltered. You're not worrying at all about what they think of you. You just say whatever's on your mind, and everyone is just laughing and having a good time in like a totally carefree way. Maybe you're in a cabin in the woods, and there's no internet connection, so you just play board games and cook a big pot of spaghetti, and everybody just sits around and talks and eats and laughs for hours. No burdens, no stress, no one you need to impress, no tests you need to take, nothing you need to do, just serenity. Because I keep a calendar, this is what my whole life is like. Well, no, that's not true. My whole life isn't like that. But my life is a little bit like that. And the reason, as I said, is that I keep a calendar. For most of my adult life, my calendar was like a little paper day planner like this. This is the one from my final year at Cambridge, the Cambridge Pocket Diary, 2010 to 2011. And then on the back it has the University of Cambridge logo. And they sold this to faculty and students. I was a graduate student. And it had all of the dates for all of the beginning and the end of term and that sort of thing. And you'd write everything. You'd write it all in there, right? Like, this is November 2010, it's Thanksgiving. And at 3 p.m. on Thursday, November 25th, I had to go to Tesco's. That's a supermarket in the United Kingdom. And I had to buy a chicken. Email Kev about football Saturday morning. I had to do that on Wednesday, right? So on Wednesday, I knew that I had to email Kevin about playing football on Saturday morning. It was soccer because it was in England. Now, of course, I use Google Calendar like everyone else, and I can access it from my phone or my computer or whatever. And on that calendar goes everything that I need to know. Here's the point. Human beings, in order to be sane and not racked with stress, need a place where they write things down, a place that they know they will check regularly, so that once they write the things down in that place, they don't have to carry those things around with them in their brains. If you need to remember something and you write it down on a napkin, there, that's the napkin. If you write it down on a napkin, then you have accomplished something, right? Now you don't need to remember the details. All you need to remember now is not to lose the napkin. So you've sort of offloaded some of the responsibility that would have rested on your mind onto the napkin. The napkin can hold the details, but you're leaving some responsibility on your brain. You have to remember to keep the napkin, and you have to remember to check the napkin at the right time so that you can make use of this information. If, however, instead, you write things down in a place that you know you're going to check regularly, that you'll check every morning and then probably 3 or 4 more times throughout the day, if you write it down there, then not only do you get the details off of your brain, but you don't have to carry around in a little part of your head a reminder to remember to check anything, because you're going to check it every day. I don't have to constantly use 1/10 or 1/20 of my brain power, just repeating some information, reminding me to do something. It's a burden that gets lifted off of you when you put information in a place that you're regularly going to check. This is the real reason to keep a calendar. I know that there are people who don't keep a calendar, and some of them will say that they're not racked by anxiety all the time, although honestly, I don't know how. And either way, there's another reason why you, if you don't already keep a calendar, need to start keeping one if you're going to succeed in college or if you're going to succeed at anything. And that's this. These people that don't keep a calendar, do they have friends? How? I've known people in my life who are always forgetting things. We'll schedule something 2 weeks in advance, and then I'll contact them the day before or the morning of to hammer out the more specific details, and they'll say, "Oh, I can't. I've got this other thing now." They didn't write it down. So they double booked that time in their life. And because they didn't write it down, they didn't even know that they had double booked it. So they didn't cancel with me in advance. What do you do with these people? I just dump them. If you think that you're just going to remember everything that you need to do, well, then either one of two things is the case. Either you really don't have that much stuff that you need to do. My 5-year-old child doesn't need to keep a calendar because I run his whole life. He has no responsibilities. I just shuttle him from one place to another. Either you have basically no responsibilities, in which case, fine, you can just remember everything because there's nothing that you need to remember. Or you're just gonna forget stuff and fail at life.